Excellent bounce back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This will be taken very short. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak. On top so far with the football here, 1st and 10. Starting the drive with Snell. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Let's go.
10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. They'll set up a throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10.
Go, go, go.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. Oh, Chubb fumbled it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. T.J. Watt and the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. So shall we say a bold decision to go for it, and that bold decision does not pay off.
And when you talk about bold, you're saying all caps?
All caps.
Yeah, without a doubt. Maybe they're telling their defense they have a lot of faith in them. I mean, that's how you have to spin it, is that you tell your defense, you know something? We were able to go for it there because you guys are so good. I'm not worried about things. That's the only explanation I can come up with in this situation.
Well, he better get ready to spin it for that post-game presser because you know he's going to be out.
He's going to have to spin it for his own locker room, frankly.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another 1st down with that run.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, it's Snell. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction. You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make There's a second down.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the Steelers' 45-yard line.
Come on, set. 6 out long. We go.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now left side on the swing pass. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Back to throw. Mathis. He's got the first down here inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
Check 13. Check 13. Check 9. Check 9.
On 1st and 10, Mathis, and he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Damian Ratley, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. A diving catch for the score. He laid out. That was special.
And you know the first thing they're going to check, right? Did he complete the process of the catch? All the way through, all the way to the ground. Ball doesn't hit the ground without control in his hands. All of that, yes. Check the box, touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, let's go.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
They'll look to throw. And he finds McDonald. And a loose football. And this is picked up by the Browns. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
On 1st down, Chubb able to get forward for about 4 as he's taken down. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Set, ready. Pittsburgh. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo!
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. On first down, Mathis escaping the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
We got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Check 43. Chef.
Operating from the gun, Mathis. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland.
There we go.
Taywan Taylor in the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much.
Well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway.
Here we go.
So here are the Browns to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. On first down, it's Moss. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll keep it on the ground. Moss, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Ready. Max 50. Watch the pass.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run on first down. It's Moss pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Blitz coming, and down he goes. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Check safety, check safety. Sponge, sponge, sponge. No.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Mathis. He finds Taylor. Complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Running for it. Here's Chubb. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now Chubb. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. A run for Nick Chubb. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down.
He's coming. We got double up. Hey, switch gears. Move.
Looking to throw. Mathis. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 22-yard line. This quarterback now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on 1st down. And to give this time to the tailback. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Coming this way. Here we go.
Here's 2nd and 8. Now they go screen. It's complete. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another 1st down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. We talk about being on schedule. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room.
About the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football. And Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, Mathis. Got an open man, it's Ratley. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down. Mathis flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back. 23
yards on the play. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They're going to look to throw. Washington's got it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns 16. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll go with Snell here on first down. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
The 16-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They're going to run again with Snell. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Vance McDonald, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score.
I know I'm not supposed to ask questions in this situation. I'm supposed to have answers. But I have to ask, with so many people in such a small area here in the red zone, I can't imagine how they lose a guy of his size and he finds his way open for a touchdown.
This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Back to throw. Mathis throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Browns on third down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 7. Now this time he'll look to throw. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he went. And it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game, but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense, and that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And now this throw complete to Washington. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 5 yards on the pickup, and it's a 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Draw play, and it's Snell. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Snell yet again. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Complete. It's Johnson. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st down, Snell, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I like the call there because that was...
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Benny Snell. He scored on the ground and through the air as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter.
Let's go deep, tighten up.
Well, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but his top 2 options were not available on that throw, so he went the safe route, worked out pretty well.
It was like you were in the pocket. How about you going through the progressions like that? What a lot of offenses say, touchdown to check down. Look downfield first, bring it back to the line of scrimmage. Not easy for a rookie to do. Oftentimes they get one look, and they make their decision off of that. He went through 3. That was impressive.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Looking to throw. Mathis. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Strong right. Come on. Hey, check. 3 down. Whip. Watch the whip.
Throwing on first down. Mathis. Throws right side, and that's complete. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength. Like 50, my love.
On 1st and 10, Mathis being chased out left. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like having there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. That means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down.
Check. Hot route. Hot. Check 24. Check nickel.
Back to throw. Mathis forced out to his left. Oh, going deep here for and this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down. 4th down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
So now the Steelers down on the scoreboard. And time, a huge factor. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That drive started on their own 25, 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now the Browns coming out on the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as he'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They'll look to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Mike 50.
He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, Charles, this one's going to be hard to digest. You take the lead into the 4th quarter, lose that lead. Maybe they felt like they let this one slip away a little bit.
They will definitely feel like that because when you have a lead in the 4th quarter, all you talk about doing is finishing and closing a game out. But when you flip it over, how about that? Making the comeback and then finishing the game, sealing it on defense, they will feel jubilant in their locker room.
So for Pittsburgh, it's a win.